maybe, I'm driving it a little bit harder. I'm not, when I tuned the oscillator up, instead of going to 8 millivolts, I went to 10. Because I added a little bit more drive. But, yeah, I'm hoping it sounds better. I'm looking for a Valiant, if you come across one, or a DC 500. So, I'm looking to find something that'll give me a little more punch to my signal. This 90 watts is just not doing it. And I can't work the right spots with the amplifier on 80 meters. The thing just won't it won't work out where I can do it. I can't get any kind of power out on 80 with the setup that I have here for some reason. So, but then, anyway, that's my problem. So, we met our new neighbor, one of the ladies across the backyard. Has sold her place, and the new lady moved in. I talked to her today for the first time. She's been in the house about 2 weeks, and she says her husband's a geek, and he likes looking at my antennas. He says, well, I said, by all means, come by, and I'd love to show them to you and talk to you about them. And she says, oh, he'll be over there beating on your door. So maybe we got another convert. We'll see how that works out. I think I'm putting out, just about 100 watts according to the little Radio Shack power meter that and that's good for this radio. But sure would like to have a couple of watts going out into the wire. So we'll see how that comes to pass. But that's on my horizon. Is I want to up the station here with a bigger transmitter output. So there we go. In any case, back over to you, Perry. I haven't talked to you in a while, and I was thinking about looking for a place that has a tractor supply. We'll move down here to Dover. We've got one in Middletown, which is not quite as far down the state, and we're pretty nice. It's not much of a crime rate where I live. Downtown Dover, they shoot it up pretty good regular there. They have all the problems, and they're sort of centralized there. But when you get out in the countryside, it's pretty nice. You get yourself a nice 2-acre plot, put out big antennas, maybe a nice loop. Hey, you can go nuts here, but I tell you. And the nice part is taxes and the cost of living is less. So just thinking, casting out a thought there. I don't know where you work. I assume it's up in Philly, and maybe you can get a job down here. Who's to say? Anyhow, just a thought. Back over to you, Barry. This is WF1L.
I'm back. W2SDR. All right, W2SDR back. Real good, though. I'm in Chester, Pennsylvania, 7 miles southwest of Philadelphia, in Delaware County. About real close to the border of Delaware. I'm only a few miles from Delaware here. Real close. Probably, I'd say, about 5 miles from Delaware. And I'm an automotive technician by trade. I've been in the automotive business now coming up to almost 20 years. I've been doing it for quite some time, so pretty good at what I do, so I can make a pretty decent living at it. I'm trying to get out of here because Chester isn't the best of cities to live. I live on the good side of town, but there's definitely a lot better places to reside, and it's not the most radio-friendly place to live. I've always been battling a high noise level, it seems like, but luckily I've been working that out with a neighbor here, but I'm just trying to do what I can with what I've got here. But no, I'm familiar with Dover. I used to go down to the NASCAR race once or twice, at least once a year, sometimes twice a year, for probably at least 10 years. So I used to go there a lot. It's a beautiful area down there. It's very, very rural down that way. There's not much really down there, but it is nice down there. Anyway, I've been looking over starting the process to try to maybe find some employment over in South Jersey, back to where I grew up, back to where over by my father, in Salem County, Elmer, Monroeville, Woodstown, that area, where I went to high school. It's really nice over there, very rural, very, very radio friendly, very, lots of room for antennas. Cost of living isn't that, out of this world or anything. It's definitely affordable, and it definitely beats where I live here. And it's real close to Philadelphia. It's 45 minutes to half hour, 45 minutes from here. So it's close to work. It's not hard to find work. Even if I can't find, a good paying job close to where I would want to live over there, the commute really isn't out of the question to be commuting back and forth over to Pennsylvania if need be, for the right job. So anyway, back over to you, Pop. Welcome back. It's Bill down there in Dover, WF1L, and I don't know how you're copying him, but I got a good copy on him over here. So W2SDR on the group W3MMR.
All right, W2SDR. I have a good copy on Bill. We've worked before. Good evening, Bill. Nice signal up here into Salem County, southern New Jersey. Sounding good. It's good to hear you again. It's been a while since we've worked. I've been getting a little bit more active than I have been on AM than I was for a while. Just trying to look up. I guess the last time we worked was back in, I guess it hasn't been that long, back in March. So, back in March on 3873. Not that I could remember that, but I have an electronic log book here. So, doing all right up here. Your signal has really come up in that last transmission, sounding very nice. We're down to 57.9 degrees here this evening, so I think we're going to have a rainy and maybe a bit of a windy day tomorrow. It was drizzling a little earlier, so I think tomorrow's going to be kind of a rainy day. Down to you, Bill, WF1L in the group. W2SDR on a Saturday night.
I just wanted to make sure he wasn't a part of the conversation. Anyway, we have since March. It's been I've changed. I think I put up the dipole antenna since I talked to you last. So it helped my signal get up to Perry a lot better, and it also helps me get up into the Poconos and whatnot. It's a east-west dipole, open wire feed, 600 ohms, and it really seems to boost my signal, and it helps. It receives better than the old single wire too. So I've been very pleased with that. So, but I'm still looking to boost the power, and I got to try and figure out how to do that. The Johnson 90 water has just boost, and I want to be able to get on the air. So I'm looking for a Valiant or maybe a Johnson 500. So if something like that, or something in the middle, like 200-300 watts comes into anybody's purview, and they're looking for a new home for it, and it's working. Okay, because I don't want to spend a bunch of money to fix it. If it's working, I'm game for it. So keep me in mind if you have some time. So there we go. In any case, I've got a question for you. You sent me a diagram for a little device that's supposed to plug into the back of my ICOM, and it was a variable resistor, and it was I'm trying to think of one in the ALC plug, I think is what you said. I was wondering if you remember what the value of the resistor was. You never put it on the chart, and it went in one ear and out the other. Unfortunately, when you gave it to me when we were talking. So you did send me the diagram. It's not very much of a circuit, but you didn't have any value on the component there. So just kind of curious what I ought to be. I'm assuming it's either a pot or a fixed resistor, or I just need to know what the size of it is, so I can see if I can get it to go in. And if in fact it does plug into the ALC on the ICOM transceiver. But anyway, yeah.
500K.
Moving down here to Delaware. It'd be nice to have another AM guy close by, so I could work on stuff with him, because I'd love to see what you guys are running there. Your signals are both phenomenal, and the audio quality is broadcast, man. You guys, you make it. This is why I want to get involved with AM, is listening to you guys talk, because it's such a nifty signal, and it sounds so good. So anyhow, I'm rambling on, and I'll go ahead and pass it back to Tom. So, what is it? W3MMR, Whiskey Foxtrot 1 Lima.
Yeah, all right, Bill. Yeah, that was a 500K pot. 500K. The old man jumped in there. I'm sure he'll verify. But if I remember, I think you're on a Johnson Ranger. If I remember correctly. So a 100-watt class, carrier class rig would definitely be an upgrade from. I guess the Ranger's about 25 watts of carrier, peaking around 100 PEP. I'm on a non-200D SDR. If you go on my QRZ page, I have pretty detailed photos and descriptions of what I'm running here. But we have this. He has the same antenna as me, Pop. The same TrueLadderline.com 125-foot double, the same exact antenna as me. So he's familiar with the antenna that you got there, Bill. And it's definitely helped your signal. As well, for sure. My antenna got blown down a couple weeks ago, about a week or so ago. We had to put it back up last weekend. So the antenna's back up 60 feet and working good there. But I do well. I'm doing 200 watts of carrier with the ALAB in combination with the SDR here. So peaking around 900 watts. But with the DX100, 100-watt class, carrier class rig peaking around 5 to 600 watts. Excuse me. Oh, jeez. Excuse me. I get out great with that rig. A lot of the times I give almost the same signal that I do with the Anon. So the difference between 100 watts and 200 watts of carrier is only 3 dB. Okay, so it's a half an S unit. It's not that big of a deal. And with the way propagation is, a lot of the times people won't even notice the difference between the two. Definitely a 100-watt class carrier class rig would definitely be help, and I'll keep an eye out for you. Over to you, Pop. W2SDR in the group W3MMR.
W2NDB.
Okay, W2NEB, I think it was. Break it in, I'll get it right over to you. W2SDR in the group. Well, if you want to get more power, there's a couple things you can do. And if you don't want to do a lot of work, is get yourself an amplifier to boost that thing up to 100 to 200 watts of carrier and stick with your Ranger. You can change that final on that Ranger to a 2E26 to get the power level down enough to drive an amp, and then you're up there with you could run yourself 100 to 150 watts of carrier and stick with the same transmitter. I mean, that's an idea. Johnson 500s are going to cost you a ton of money. They're very collectible. I don't know if they're worth it or not. That's a whole other issue. But you could spend up to $4,000 or $5,000 for one of those. So, I mean, I don't know what you're into, but you're not going to get a deal on a Johnson 500, I'll tell you. And they can be troublesome to restore, too. So it's not a transmitter that I would be interested in. So I'd stay away from that. So there you go. Let me let the breaker in, W2NDB, I think it was your call. And it's a 500K pot for the ALC mod for the ICOMs. Now, you could use a 9-volt battery. It depends on your ICOM. I would try maybe a 1.5-volt pen light at first, if it can get you in a range. Because 9 volts can be an awful lot, so that pot would be all the way down to one edge. So I would start off with one pen light battery, like a AA at 1.5 volts with the 500K, and see if you can get into the zone with that. That's what I use in my 751A ICOM. W2NDB, I'm going to throw it to you, and then it goes to WF1L down there in Maryland. It goes to Bill down there in Maryland. W2NDB in the group, W2SDR, Salem County, Southern New Jersey.
W2SDR, W2NDB in the fine group. I'm not going to stay in here too long. I'm just, we're actually checking two things out. We just hung up an antenna at the new QTH here, and checking out a friend's up with the antennas is AOE11. I was wondering how we were sounding here from Cairo, New York. Appreciate any comments. Back to you, I guess, Frank. W2SDR, W2NDB is the call. Name is Mike, by the way.
Okay, I don't think I have your call right. Give me your call phonetically, Mike. Over.
Sure, Frank. It's Whiskey 2, November, Delta, Bravo. And I probably should say portable because I'm in a new QTH. I'm still listed down at 50.
Okay, Mike, fine. I got you in there. Well, you're good. You're 10 over 9. Sorry about the... I think we've worked before. Sorry about the call. And just getting it in the logbook again here. W2NDB. Okay, let me delete the wrong call that I put in there. Okay. There you go. Well, it's sounding good, Mike. It's good to hear you again. Get some of the reports from some of the other guys. Like I say, Southern New Jersey, Salem County, you're 10 over. Over to you, Perry. Over.
Yeah, W2SDR in the group with W2NDB, W3MMR. Hello once again, Mike. We have worked before. Last time we worked was in May 12th. Right here on 3885. Sounded good down this way. Pretty good signal, about 15 over. S9, no problem. Copying you. Sound good this evening. Mike, good to hear you again. And let's see how Bill is copying you down there in Dover, Delaware. Down to you, Bill. WF1L in the group W3MMR.
Yeah, W3MMR in the group. Whiskey Foxtrot, 1 Lima. Yeah, you sound pretty good, Mike. The pitch on your voice, I don't know, you don't have a lot of low end on your signal, but that's can be adjusted and or it might be just being a little off frequency or so, I don't know. But in any case, yeah, you got a nice signal down here. You're about 5 and 7 into Dover. Down here, we're just sort of slogging along. I got one question for Frank. The battery, when you put that ALC coil together, does that go across, the battery go across the potentiometer or in series with the potentiometer? So we can answer that when you come back on. So with that, I will pass it back. Go ahead, Frank. W2SDR.
Okay.
Okay, Bill, you hook up the pot like a voltage divider. Okay, so it's like a voltage divider. So the battery is into the center terminal and one side, and the radio is from the center terminal to the other side. So it's hooked up to like a voltage divider. And I don't know if I sent you the picture. I thought I sent you, or I've sent this out to so many different people, a little schematic diagram of how you wire up that pot. On a quick break, Bill, did I send you that? If not, I can send it to you again if your email is good on QRZ. Over.
Yeah, you sent it to me, but that's why I've got questions about it, and it just, the light just hasn't come on, I'm afraid. So there you go. But I do have it. So, let's see, what else? Something else popped into my mind when you were chatting, and I'm lost again. Back over to you, Frank.
Okay, well, join the crowd. I'm lost most of the time. Okay, Perry, over to you and give... you already gave him a signal report. Mike, are you going to stay in here? W2SDR, back to you.
Actually, no. I'm just basically going to be checking out shortly. I've got a lot of things to do, but I've got to disconnect this 811 to get back to my buddy here. He's going to run, and then I'm going to throw the transformer in my AL82 and hook it in line, and then I'll be back after that. So we finally got the antenna up in the air with the new QTH. I couldn't go happier than a pig, and you know what?
That's great, Mike. Congratulations. Sounding good. It's doing well down here. Over to you, Perry. W2SDR in the group.
W2SDR, W3MMR. Yeah, all right. Good, real good, Mike. You're peaked around 20 over that time, so the new antenna, or the old antenna at the new location is working good. So great to hear you back on the air. 2 thumbs up, and can't wait to hear you once you get the AL82 in line, and it's a great amplifier. My father over there has one that he runs on the other station with his FT101, and that thing is a tank of an amp. I wish I had one, but I'm running an AL80B here. That is a great little amplifier. Especially for what it is. For a single 500Z, this thing will do 175 watts or 200 watts of carrier all day and all night with headroom. You wouldn't want to run any more power than any carrier than this, but it is kind of pushing it to the upper reaches of it. But it'll take it all day and all night, and this thing will do a kilowatt plus on sideband. So it's a great little amplifier. I'm glad my father pushed me in this direction to get this thing, because I was thinking about an SB 220 or like a Drake L4B or an old Henry, and I'm glad I went with this. This amplifier I think was only 3 years old when I bought it. I bought it used off a gentleman in Florida. I got a really good deal on it. The thing was in mint shape when I bought it, and I'm very happy with the AL80B. So everybody's signals are hanging in good. The band has not gone long yet. Everybody's sounding great this evening. So 7-3 to you, Mike. And once again, thanks for stopping in. Hopefully we'll work you again soon. And we'll send it back down to you, Bill. WF1L, maybe you remembered what popped in your head and join the club. I'm only 32, but I feel lost 75% of my day. Back down to you, Bill. WF1L, W3MMR.
Yeah, it must be something in the water. I don't know. W3MMR Whiskey Foxtrot 1 Lima. Yeah, we're running I don't know what it was. The rig that I got here in the station is the Talkin Viking 1. It's got the old single tube final W332, I believe, was the tube designation. And this is a 350 Jordan, but it puts out about 90 watts, which is what it's supposed to. And the meter says it's running about 100, so I'm not complaining. So I need to get a power meter or a 30-watt meter so I can start measuring the output. I got questions about my amplifier too. I know the amp will work equal well, but when I hook it up to the antenna, strange things happen. So there we go. But in any case, that was the other thing I wanted to say. You guys had me owning a Ranger, and I don't own a Ranger. It's the Viking one, and so it's. I'm very pleased with the radio itself. It works great. And I just, it seems to be, I can't go as far as I'd like to go. Of course, propagation is what it is. And sometimes the electrons, the ionic pool is just not there for you when you try and push it. And you try and make up for it with more power. And that's where I was headed. So it's like having a boat and getting 2-foot-itis. That'd be nice. This is nice, but one's over there is 2 feet longer, and it would be a lot nicer kind of thing. So anyhow, but yeah, I really like this dipole antenna. I've been very pleased with the way it worked out, and I'm hoping yours is just as good for you, Perry. The only thing is, I would have liked to have gotten the 160-meter version, but I don't have 250 feet to stretch the wire. So that's the constraint that I'm under. So I'd like to have a power too, but I'm going to have to wait till the tour time. And who knows how long that's going to take. So there we are with that. And with that, I will pass it back to Frank. This is passing it over to W2SDR. This is Whiskey Foxtrot 1 Lima.
Boy, just had a big static crash. Yeah, okay, Bill, fine. Solid the whole time. Viking 1 is doing a good job. I used to have one of them. That 4D32 is a hell of a rugged tube, I'll tell you. That's the most rugged final I've ever seen, in my opinion. That is one heck of a tube. I'm going to sign out. I'm going to go upstairs and watch a little TV, get a bite to eat. Stay 7-3, Perry, 7-3 to you. Look for you in the morning. Bill, it's great working you again. It's been a while, so hope to hear you again real soon. Mike, if you're still in the earshot, good hearing you, and I'm going to sign out. So 7-3 all the way around this evening. W3MMR in the group. W2SDR saying 73s.
All right, Pop, W2SDR, W3MMR. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to sit back and, I'm going to sit back and relax for a little while. I've been up since 4:30 on 3.5 hours of sleep, so I'm tired. And I've been operating since I got home here at 4 o'clock, so it's time to move on and do something else and listen out for a while and lay on the couch and close my eyes and wake up there at 5 o'clock in the morning. So that sounds like a plan to me. Anyway, hey, Bill, man, I would like to have the 160-meter version of this antenna as well, but I can just barely fit this antenna on my property with the apex. It's in an inverted V, and the apex is up 60 feet. And this thing is strung from one corner of my property all the way to the other corner. And it just, with the way I have it oriented, it just barely fits on my property. So I can't go any bigger. But I am, however, going to make this antenna 160-meter worthy and hook it up as a long wire, kind of like a T antenna, and run a run a bunch of ground radials out from the tuner. I just ordered 1,000 feet of, it's 2,000 feet of 18 gauge speaker wire for ground. For ground radials, so that should be here tomorrow, and that's actually going to be my next project, but not tomorrow since it's going to be raining and nasty out all day tomorrow. But maybe next weekend, if it's nice, we'll work on that project, or Wednesday when we're off. But anyway, 7-3 Bill, 7-3 to you, Mike, if you're still listening, and anyone else that's out there listening. It's been a pleasure, real fun tonight on the band. Great conditions. Everybody has great signals tonight. Everybody's sounding exceptional. So down to you, Bill. I'll listen out for your final 7-3, and we'll talk to you again real soon. WF1L with W2SDR signed. W3MMR.
You guys must have heard me coming KB8SMU.
Hi, Shane.
I turned the rig on and everybody disappeared.
Happens every day.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and bail as well. I got to get some dinner. I haven't had my evening snack yet. And you guys have an AM net in the morning on Sunday. For down at 3738 or 3735. So if you could give me a little feedback on that, I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, have a great evening. And come on, let's go Nats. Phillies can't make it, but maybe close your eyes and get that pen around too. This is Whiskey Foxtrot 1 Lima.
Yeah, all right, Bill. No, I'm not rooting for the Nats. I can't do it. I'm rooting for the Astros. I hate the Nats. I despise the Nationals. Just like Eagles fans despise the Dallas Cowboys, I despise the Washington Nationals. Worse than that, or even more so than that. So, boo is all I got to say to you. But there is the AM carrier net on Sundays. I believe it's 3835. At around 8 o'clock in the morning, I believe, ish. I could be wrong on the frequency as well, but I know it's somewhere around there, and I know it's around that time in the morning, so I know it's on Sundays. But then on Saturday mornings here is the old military radio net at 0500. But the conditions have not been in the favor of that net. The band's been really, really long at that time in the morning, and so we'll sit here and try to string it together until the band shortens up at about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then it's like a light switch, and everybody can hear people, so everybody can hear each other. So, good evening to you, Shane, and I heard another breaker in there. Good evening to you. So, Shane, I'll send it over to you, 7-3, and you pick it up with the other gentleman. Take care, guys, and everybody's sounding great. W3MMR. KB8SMU, over to you, W3MMR.
73, Perry.
See you, Bill.
7-3, Perry. 82 NGO.
Okay, I don't know if you guys are talking about. I kind of heard one of it, I couldn't hear the other. So I'm up in here saying good evening, since everybody's leaving. No, I've been listening for a while and just messing around the shack here, so I should have got on earlier. Anyway, to you and the pups, I'll say 7-3, and anybody out there that can actually hear me. Hey, 7-3 to you too, from Shane in Ohio, KB8SMU. Have a good one.
All right, Shane, and 7-3 to you, Bill, as well, the other Bill. And I'll talk to you guys later. I've been in here for a while. I got off at 4. And I went to a wedding last night after work. And I didn't get home until really late. And I got about 3.5 hours of sleep. And I had to go back to work. But woke up for the net this morning. Then had to go to work today and got off at 4. So I'm tired. I'm getting out of here. Get on earlier, Shane. Or if you hear us in here, key up. It's always good hearing you guys. And both of you guys are bombing in down here, almost 25 over. So 7-3, gentlemen. W3MMR clear.